What's up, guys? My name is Silent Grind, and for once, I didn't waste my money on anime hentai. So yeah, it's pretty cool. For once, I actually decided to make a valuable purchase. I'm just trying to. That's a lot better, actually. If I fixed it. What? How do I explain this? Well, I guess a story would do. It really started with last year, was it? I don't want to drop this, even though the thing that we're talking about, the actual functional part of this is not inside right now. I don't want to drop it still because this is awesome.
Let's go.
No. Song. That's all I have to put. Oh no, I had to put song suggestion. I believe it's the groomer bassist one. That's the first. Yeah, it seems so. Okay, so yeah. 10 months ago, last year. Damn. Which means it's gonna be in July this year that it's my 1 year anniversary of having listened to Morbid Angel. I fell in love pretty quickly with the band, as my second ever song suggestion stream was my second ever was literally had a Morbid Angel logo, so that's, I mean, it tells a story, really. So, and then the probably third had a Morbid Angel meme of Trey as let's forget that last name of Trey, because I don't have all the horses, because I work at welding school. Well, I technically work at welding school, so I've had a long day, really. It's been kind of tough, and I actually ran on my lunch break to get this, and I ran to the gas station where the pickup was. It's not far away, which is like a mile away from the welding school, and then half a mile to my home, or something like that. Probably something like that, give or take, like half a mile on that, or a quarter or a third of the mile. But I ran from the welding school to the fucking gas station, and then I ran home, and then I ran back to the welding school because I don't really had enough time to take a picture and then go back. But what's the story behind me buying this object that we're talking about today? Well, the story is, as I said, I fell into a rabbit hole of death metal last year in July, and really it was just love at first. Well, it wasn't a sight, it was love at first here. I honestly don't know what to make of that, but it was love, at least some form of love for the music arts, and eventually I actually started listening to the band after recommendations and stuff, and I first just listened to Altars, because that was the first album that I listened to, because I actually bought the Altars album. If you remember my Altars video, you remember the story behind me buying it. And it's quite funny, because, I mean, it wasn't meant to go like that. And I might actually get now that I have this, I might get the reissue version of this album as well. Not because I don't like this, and not because I doubt this will sound better than the reissue version, but because I want to see something in the actual sleeve, if the jacket if the jacket is different at all. That's really all I want to see. But that's a future project. That's not going to happen anytime soon. I'll probably buy the reissue next time they... By the time I buy one, there's probably going to be a full-on like reissue of this album. But the album in question, I fell in love in immediately on my first hearing. Because, keep in mind, before this, I listened to Formulas. Easily, like, we can't talk about Alters, because Alters is like, you can't put that in the top albums you like by Morbid Angel, because Alters is always going to be the best. You can't beat Alters, okay? That's just a bog damn, it's just the grand standard. So, the second favorite, that isn't Alters. Let's make that sure. Because Alters of Madness should be its own band. That's how good that album is. But unfortunately, that wouldn't be as possible because Richard Brunel is not alive. But it's that good. As, factually stated by me. But my second favorite album right now has been Formulas for a very long time. Because Formulas was the second Morbid Angel album I ever listened to, because my boyfriend has a CD of it. And I was like, okay, I should listen to it. And I listened to it, and I thought it was long. But now, the length really doesn't come off the same way. It's a whole different way of seeing it now, because now it's more just like you're getting this whole ass like full hour of just Trey riffing, really, because Trey is awesome. But then the third album hit, and I mean, I'd already heard Ageless, Still I Am, but the other songs on this album just come together in such a good chemistry that honestly, this is my favorite Morbid Angel album of all time, just for the sole purpose of how well it's made. Even though the drums are, like let's be fair, the drums are triggered. Those are triggers. Holy fuck, are they triggered. Oh, and that's fine. And, oh yeah, that's the fucking annoying ass sticker. But, we're missing the point. The album in question is, in fact, Gateways to Annihilation. And this is not just any copy of Gateways to Annihilation, which I mean, unless I put it in the title, you probably, unless I didn't put it in the title, you probably know what I'm talking about. This is not just the Gateways to Annihilation vinyl. As you see, the album art, I mean, in person, it's gorgeous. It's perfect. That's not quite. That must have been my fault. That happened at home. But yeah, this sleeve is really thin. That's, as you see, it's like paper here. I'm not gonna bend it too much because I'm probably gonna make the bend marks. But yeah, it's a very fragile printing of this. And it's not exactly the most well-made sleeve. So I would actually look into getting a aftermarket sleeve that's more like thicker. But I mean, I call this the sleeve, I know. It's the jacket, art, cover, whatever, the but of course, it's not just the Gateways album. It's the... I don't even think that's gonna focus, but if that isn't focusing, that's the year 2000 on there. I don't know how many they made of these, but this was a limited edition, I know that much. They don't actually state that very well, because even though this album does get a little naughty, you have pure metal on the front. It's you're basically paying to get a whole ass artwork. And I'm gonna be as careful as I can with this, because I'm kind of disappointed that this happened. You can't really see it unless it's in the light, but this must have been in, like, when I opened the package. Really disappointing, really. But it's so thin. It's, of course, it's gonna be more prone to bending. I mean, yeah, that's like the thinnest. But even though it's thin, it's a limited edition. It's the year 2000. It's when they released this vinyl the first time officially. And I don't really have much more to say than that this has been a dream of mine to purchase this vinyl. Because, I mean, of course, I wanted a physical copy of my favorite Morbid Angel album, but just the feeling of seeing in person, and although dirty from dust and cats already, which is, well, that's just life for you, ain't it? You know, it's such a. I'm struggling to really explain even the story, because I'm still in my head just freaking out a little bit, because I mean, it's there. This is it. The magnum opus of my collection. This is my collection won't get better than this. Anything I buy after this, it can be as cool as it wants to be. It can be the original Ace of Spades release. It can be fucking a test print for the first technical death metal album / prog death. It can even be the original release of a dismembered album on vinyl. Of course, vinyl. I only really buy vinyl in physical music form, but it won't be Gateways. Gateways, I'm pretty sure I will break the tradition for. I broke the tradition for Morbid Angel, so Altars of Madness, because I like having the one I bought most recent in the front of my collection, so that, like, when I look at the collection, I'll see that's the one I bought most recently. But I think I'm gonna break that rule, and whatever vinyls I buy after this is gonna go behind this, because this important. So, apart from this being the best album ever, that's awesome. I'm just gonna put it over here because I'm gonna listen to it, and I always like to have the artwork there when I listen to it, just like this, because I always look at it, just like take it in and admire the beauty. But it's there, and it's mine. So, yeah, that's gonna be it for now. I'm gonna start listening to this, as you see here. The vinyl is in there. I'm gonna listen to that now. So, I've been Suicide Grind, and you've been watching me fanboy at Morbid Angel. But, you know the motto, stay cute.